The Tragedy of Coriolanus, Act 3. Scene 1. Cornets enter Coriolanus, Menenius, all the gentry, Cominius, Titus, Lartius, and other senators. Coriolanus. Tullus Aufidius then had made a new head. He had, my lord, and that it was which caused our swifter composition. So then the valse stand but as at first, ready when time shall prompt them to make road upon us again. They are worn, Lord Consul, so that we shall hardly in our ages see their banners wave again. Saw you Aufidius? On safeguard he came to me, and did curse against the Valses, for they had so vilely yielded the town. He is retired to Antium. Spoke he of me? He did, my lord. How? What? How often he had met you, sword to sword, that of all things upon the earth he hated your person most, that he would pawn his fortunes to hopeless restitution, so he might be called your vanquisher. At Antium lives he? At Antium. I wish I had a cause to seek him there, to oppose his hatred fully. Welcome home. Behold, these are the tribunes of the people, the tongues of the common mouth. I do despise them, for they do prank them in authority against all noble sufferance. Pass no further. Ha! What is that? It will be dangerous to go on no further. What makes this change? The matter? Hath he not passed the noble and the common? Cominius, no. Have I children's voices? Tribunes, give way, he shall to the marketplace. The people are incensed against him. Stop, or all will fall in broil. Are these your herd? Must these have voices that can yield them now, and straight disclaim their tongues? What are your offices? You being their mouths, why rule you not their teeth? Have you not set them on? Be calm, be calm. It is a purposed thing, and grows by plot, to curb the will of the nobility. Suffer it, and live with such as cannot rule, nor ever will be ruled. Call it not a plot. The people cry you mocked them, and of late, when corn was given them gratis, you repined, scandaled the suppliants for the people, called them time-pleasers, flatterers, foes to nobleness. Why, this was known before. Not to them all. Have you informed them, Scythians? How, I inform them? You are like to do such business, not unlike each way to better yours. Why then should I be consul? By yond clouds, let me deserve so ill as you, and make me your fellow tribune. You show too much of that for which the people stir. If you will pass to where you are bound, you must inquire your way, which you are out of, with a gentler spirit, or never be so noble a consul, nor yoke with him for tribune. Let's be calm. The people are abused. Set on. This paltering becomes not Rome, nor has Coriolanus deserved this so dishonored rub, laid falsely in the plain way of his merit. Tell me of corn. This was my speech, and I will speak it again. Not now, not now. Not in this heat, sir, now. Now as I live I will. My nobler friends, I crave their pardons. For the mutable, rank-scented many, let them regard me as I do not flatter, and therein behold themselves. I say again, in soothing them we nourish against our senate the cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition, which we ourselves have plowed for, sowed and scattered, by mingling them with us, the honored number who lack not virtue, no, nor power, but that which they have given to beggars. Well, no more words, we beseech you. How, no more? As for my country, I have shed my blood, not fearing outward force, so shall my lungs coin words till their decay against those measles which we disdained should tetter us, yet sought the very way to catch them. You speak of the people as if you were a god to punish, not a man of their infirmity. 'Twere well we let the people know it. What? His choler? Choler? Were I as patient as the midnight sleep, by Jove, 'twould be my mind. It is a mind that shall remain a poison where it is, not poison any further. Shall remain, hear you this Triton of the minnows, mark you his absolute shall? 'Twas from the cannon. Shall? O good but most unwise patricians, why, you grave but reekless senators, have you thus given Hydra here to choose an officer, that with his peremptory shall, being but the horn and noise of the monsters, wants not spirit to say he'll turn your current in a ditch, and make your channel his? If he have power, then veil your ignorance. If none, awake your dangerous lenity. If you are learned, be not as common fools. If you are not, let them have cushions by you. You are plebeians. If they be senators, and they are no less, when both your voices blended, the greatest taste, most palates theirs. They choose their magistrate, and such a one as he, who puts his shall, his popular shall, against a graver bench than ever frowned in Greece. By Jove himself, it makes the consuls base, and my soul aches to know, when two authorities are up, neither supreme, how soon confusion may enter twixt the gap of both, and take the one by the other. Well, on to the marketplace. Whoever gave that counsel to give forth the corn of the storehouse gratis, as 'twas used sometime in Greece, well, no more of that. Though the people had more absolute power, I say they nourished disobedience, fed the ruin of the state. Why shall the people give one that speaks thus their voice? I'll give my reasons, more worthier than their voices. They know the corn was not our recompense. Resting well assured, they never did service for it. Being pressed to the war, even when the navel of the state was touched, they would not thread the gates. This kind of service did not deserve corn gratis. Being in the war, their mutinies and revolts, wherein they showed most valor, spoke not for them. The accusation which they have often made against the Senate, all cause unborn, could never be the native of our so frank donation. Well, what then? How shall this bosom multiplied digest the Senate's courtesy? Let deeds express what's like to be their words. We did request it. We are the greater poll, and in true fear they gave us our demands. Thus we debase the nature of our seats, and make the rabble call our care fears, which will in time break ope the locks of the Senate, and bring in the crows to peck the eagles. Come, enough with over measure. No, take more. What may be sworn by, both divine and human, seal what I end withal. This double worship, where one part does disdain with cause, the other insult without all reason, where gentry, title, wisdom cannot conclude but by this yea and no of general ignorance, it must omit real necessities, and give way the while to unstable slightness. Purpose so bared it follows, nothing is done to purpose. Therefore beseech you, you that will be less fearful than discreet, that love the fundamental part of the state more than you doubt the change on it, that prefer a noble life before a long, and wish to jump a body with a dangerous physic, that sure of death without it, at once pluck out the multitudinous tongue. Let them not lick the sweet which is their poison. Your dishonor mangles true judgment, and bereaves the state of that integrity which should become it, not having the power to do the good it would for the ill which doth control it. He has said enough, has spoken like a traitor, and shall answer as traitors do. Thou wretch, despite overwhelm thee. What should the people do with these bald tribunes, on whom depending their obedience fails to the greater bench in a rebellion, when what's not meet but what must be was law? Then were they chosen in a better hour. Let what is meet be said it must be meet, and throw their power in the dust. Manifest treason. This a consul? No. The aediles, ho! Let him be apprehended. Go call the people, in whose name myself attach thee as a traitor innovator, a foe to the public weal. Obey, I charge thee, and follow to thine answer. Hence, old goat, we'll surety him. Age, sir, hands off. Hence, rotten thing, or I shall shake thy bones out of thy garments. Help, ye citizens. On both sides more respect. Here's he that would take from you all your power. Seize him, aediles. Down with him, down with him. Weapons, weapons, weapons. Tribunes, patricians, citizens, what ho! Sicinius, Brutus, Coriolanus, citizens, peace, peace, peace. Stay, hold, peace. What is about to be? I am out of breath. Confusion's near, I cannot speak. You tribunes, to the people. Coriolanus, patience. Speak, good Sicinius. Hear me, people, peace. Let's hear our tribune, peace. Speak, speak, speak. You are at point to lose your liberties. Marcius would have all from you, Marcius whom late you have named for consul. Fee, fee, fee! This is the way to kindle, not to quench, to unbuild the city, and to lay all flat. What is the city but the people? True, the people are the city. By the consent of all we were established the people's magistrates. You so remain, and so are like to do. That is the way to lay the city flat, to bring the roof to the foundation, and bury all which yet distinctly ranges in heaps and piles of ruin. This deserves death. Or let us stand to our authority, or let us lose it. We do here pronounce upon the part of the people in whose power we were elected theirs. Marcius is worthy of present death. Therefore lay hold of him, bear him to the rock Tarpeian, and from thence into destruction cast him. Aediles, seize him. Yield, Marcius, yield. Hear me one word. Beseech you, tribunes, hear me but a word. Peace, peace. Be that you seem truly your country's friend, and temperately proceed to what you would thus violently redress. Sir, those cold ways that seem like prudent helps are very poisonous where the disease is violent. Lay hands upon him, and bear him to the rock. No, I'll die here. There's some among you have beheld me fighting. Come, try upon yourselves what you have seen me. Down with that sword. Tribunes, withdraw a while. Lay hands upon him. Help, Marcius, help! You that be noble, help him, young and old. Down with him, down with him! Go, get you to your house, and be gone, away! All will be naught else. Get you gone. Stand fast. We have as many friends as enemies. Shall it be put to that? The gods forbid! I prithee, noble friend, home to thy house, leave us to cure this cause. For 'tis a sore upon us, you cannot tent yourself, be gone, beseech you. Come, sir, along with us. I would they were barbarians as they are, though in Rome littered, not Romans as they are not, though calved on the porch of the Capitol. Be gone, put not your worthy rage into your tongue. One time will owe another. On fair ground I could beat 40 of them. I could myself take up a brace of the best of them, yea, the 2 tribunes. But now 'tis odds beyond arithmetic, and manhood is called foolery when it stands against the falling fabric. Will you hence before the tag return, whose rage doth rend like interrupted waters, and overbear what they are used to bear? Pray you be gone. I'll try whether my old wit be in request with those that have but little. This must be patched with cloth of any colour. Nay, come away. This man has marred his fortune. His nature is too noble for the world. He would not flatter Neptune for his trident, or Jove for his power to thunder. His heart's his mouth, what his breast forges that his tongue must vent, and being angry does forget that ever he heard the name of death. Here's goodly work. I would they were abed. I would they were in Tiber. What the vengeance could he not speak him fair? Where is this viper that would depopulate the city and be every man himself? You worthy tribunes, he shall be thrown down the Tarpeian rock with rigorous hands. He hath resisted law, and therefore law shall scorn him further trial than the severity of the public power, which he so sets at naught. He shall well know the noble tribunes are the people's mouths, and we their hands. He shall sure on it. Sir, sir, peace! Do not cry havoc where you should but hunt with modest warrant. Sir, how comes it that you have hope to make this rescue? Hear me speak. As I do know the consul's worthiness, so can I name his faults. Consul? What consul? The consul Coriolanus. He consul. No, 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 no. If by the tribune's leave and yours, good people, I may be heard, I would crave a word or two, the which shall turn you to no further harm than so much loss of time. Speak briefly then, for we are peremptory to dispatch this viperous traitor. To eject him hence were but one danger, and to keep him here our certain death. Therefore it is decreed he dies tonight. Now the good gods forbid that our renowned Rome, whose gratitude towards her deserved children is enrolled in Jove's own book, like an unnatural dam should now eat up her own. He's a disease that must be cut away. Oh, he's a limb that has but a disease, mortal to cut it off, to cure it easy. What has he done to Rome that's worthy death? Killing our enemies, the blood he hath lost, which I dare vouch is more than that he hath, by many an ounce he dropped it for his country. And what is left to lose it by his country were to us all that do it and suffer it a brand to the end of the world. This is clean Cam, merely Owry. When he did love his country, it honored him. The service of the foot, being once gangrened, is not then respected for what before it was. We'll hear no more. Pursue him to his house and pluck him thence, lest his infection, being of catching nature, spread further. One word more, one word. This tiger-footed rage, when it shall find the harm of unscanned swiftness, will too late tie leaden pounds to his heels. Proceed by process, lest parties as he is beloved break out and sack great Rome with Romans. If it were so, what do ye talk? Have we not had a taste of his obedience? Our daily smote, ourselves resisted? Come, consider this. He has been bred in the wars since could draw a sword, and is ill schooled in bolted language. Meal and bran together he throws without distinction. Give me leave, I'll go to him, and undertake to bring him where he shall answer by a lawful form in peace to his utmost peril. Noble tribunes, it is the humane way. The other course will prove too bloody, and the end of it unknown to the beginning. Noble Menenius, be you then as the people's officer. Masters, lay down your weapons. Go not home. Meet on the marketplace, will attend you there, where if you bring not Marcius, will proceed in our first way. I'll bring him to you. Let me desire your company, he must come, or what is worst will follow. Pray you, let's to him. Scene 2. Enter Coriolanus with nobles. Let them put all about mine ears, present me death on the wheel, or at wild horses' heels, or pile 10 hills on the Tarpeian rock, that the precipitation might down stretch below the beam of sight, yet will I still be thus to them. You do the nobler. I muse my mother does not approve me further, who was wont to call them woolen vassals, things created to buy and sell with groats, to show bare heads in congregations, to yawn, be still, and wonder, when one but of my ordinance stood up to speak of peace or war. I talk of you, why did you wish me milder? Would you have me false to my nature? Rather say I play the man I am. Oh, sir, 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 I would have had you put your power well on before you had worn it out. Let go. You might have been enough the man you are, with striving less to be so. Lesser had been the thwartings of your dispositions, if you had not showed them how ye were disposed, ere they lacked power to cross you. Let them hang, ay, and burn too. Come, come, you have been too rough, something too rough. You must return and mend it. There's no remedy unless by not so doing our good city cleave in the midst and perish. Pray be counselled. I have a heart as little apt as yours, but yet a brain that leads my use of anger to better vantage. Well said, noble woman, before he should thus stoop to the herd, but that the violent fit of the time craves it as physic. For the whole state I would put mine armor on, which I can scarcely bear. What must I do? Return to the tribunes. Well, what then? What then? Repent what you have spoken. For them, I cannot do it to the gods. Must I then do it to them? You are too absolute, though therein you can never be too noble. But when extremities speak, I have heard you say honor and policy, like unsevered friends, in the war do grow together. Grant that, and tell me in peace what each of them by the other lose, that they combine not there. Tush, tush! A good demand. If it be honor in your wars to seem the same you are not, which for your best ends you adopt your policy, how is it less or worse that it shall hold companionship in peace, with honor as in war, since that to both it stands in like request? Why force you this? Because that now it lies you on to speak to the people, not by your own instruction, nor by the matter which your heart prompts you, but with such words that are but roted in your tongue, though but bastards, and syllables of no allowance to your bosom's truth. Now this no more dishonours you at all than to take in a town with gentle words, which else would put you to your fortune and the hazard of much blood. I would dissemble with my nature where my fortunes and my friends at stake required. I should do so in honour. I am in this your wife, your son, these senators, and the nobles. And you will rather show our general louts how you can frown than spend a fawn upon 'em for the inheritance of their loves and safeguard of what that want might ruin. Noble lady, come, go with us, speak fair. You may salve so, not what is dangerous present, but the loss of what is past. I prithee now, my son, go to them, with this bonnet in thy hand, and thus far having stretched it, here be with them, thy knee bussing the stones, for in such business action is eloquence, and in the eyes of the ignorant more learned than the ears, waving thy head, which often thus correcting thy stout heart, how now humble as the ripest mulberry, that will not hold the handling, or say to them, thou art their soldier, and being bred in broils, hast not the soft way which thou dost confess were fit for thee to use as they to claim, in asking their good loves, but thou wilt frame thyself, forsooth, hereafter theirs, so far as thou hast power and person. This but done, even as she speaks, why their hearts were yours, for they have pardons, being asked as free as words to little purpose. Prithee now, go and be ruled, although I know thou hadst rather follow thine enemy in a fiery gulf than flatter him in a bower. Here is Cominius. I have been in the marketplace, and sir, 'tis fit you make strong party or defend yourself by calmness or by absence. All's in anger. Only fair speech. I think 'twill serve if he can thereto frame his spirit. He must and will. Prithee now say you will, and go about it. Must I go show them my unbarbed sconce? Must I with my base tongue give to my noble heart a lie that it must bear? Well, I will do it. Yet were there but this single plot to lose, this mould of Marcius, they to dust should grind it and throw it against the wind to the marketplace. You have put me now to such a part which never I shall discharge to the life. Come, come, we'll prompt you. I prithee now, sweet son, as thou hadst said, my praises made thee first a soldier, so to have my praise for this, perform a part thou hast not done before. Well, I must do it, away my disposition, and possess me some harlot spirit, my throat of war be turned, which queried it with my drum into a pipe, small as a eunuch, or the virgin voice that babies lull asleep. The smiles of knaves tent in my cheeks, and schoolboys' tears take up the glasses of my sight. A beggar's tongue make motion through my lips, and my armed knees, who bowed but in my stirrup, bend like his that hath received an alms. I will not do it, lest I surcease to honor mine own truth, and by my body's action teach my mind a most inherent baseness. At thy choice, then, to beg of thee, it is my more dishonor than thou of them. Come all to ruin, let thy mother rather feel thy pride than fear thy dangerous stoutness. For I mock at death with as big heart as thou. Do as thou list, thy valiantness was mine, thou suckest it from me, but oh thy pride thyself. Pray be content, mother, I am going to the marketplace. Chide me no more, I'll mountebank their loves, cog their hearts from them, and come home beloved of all the trades in Rome. Look, I am going, commend me to my wife. I'll return consul, or never trust to what my tongue can do in the way of flattery further. Do your will. Away, the tribunes do attend you. Arm yourself to answer mildly, for they are prepared with accusations, as I hear, more strong than are upon you yet. The word is mildly. Pray you let us go. Let them accuse me by invention. I will answer in mine honor. But mildly. Well, mildly be it then, mildly. Scene 3. Enter Sicinius and Brutus. Brutus. In this point charge him home, that he affects tyrannical power. If he evades us there, enforce him with his envy to the people, and that the spoil got on the Antiochs was never disturbed. What will he come? He's coming. How accompanied? With old Menenius and those senators that always favored him. Have you a catalogue of all the voices that we have procured, set down by the poll? I have, 'tis ready. Have you collected them by tribes? I have. Assemble presently the people hither, and when they hear me say, it shall be so in the right and strength of the commons, be it either for death or for fine or banishment, then let them, if I say fine, cry fine, if death, cry death, insisting on the old prerogative and power in the truth of the cause. I shall inform them. And when such time they have begun to cry, let them not cease, but with a din, confused, enforce the present execution of what we chance to sentence. Very well. Make them be strong and ready for this hint, when we shall hap to give it them. Go about it. Put him to collar straight. He hath been used ever to conquer, and to have his worth of contradiction. Being once chaffed, he cannot be reined again to temperance. Then he speaks what's in his heart, and that is there which looks with us to break his neck. Well, here he comes. Calmly I do beseech you. As an hostler that for the poorest piece will bear the knave by the volume. The honored gods keep Rome in safety, and the chairs of justice supplied with worthy men. Plant love among us. Throng our large temples with the shows of peace, and not our streets with war. Amen, amen. A noble wish. Draw near, ye people. List to your tribunes. Audience, peace, I say. First hear me speak. Well, say peace ho. Shall I be charged no further than this present? Must all determine here? I do demand, if you submit you to the people's voices, allow their officers, and are content to suffer lawful censure for such faults as shall be proved upon you. I am content. Lo, citizens, he says he is content. The warlike service he has done, consider. Think upon the wounds his body bears, which show like graves in the holy churchyard. Scratches with briars, scars to move laughter only. Consider further that when he speaks not like a citizen, you find him like a soldier. Do not take his rougher accents for malicious sounds, but as I say, such as become a soldier rather than envy you. Well, well, no more. What is the matter that being passed for consul with full voice, I am so dishonored that the very hour you take it off again? Answer to us. Say then, 'tis true, I ought so. We charge you that you have contrived to take from Rome all seasoned office, and to wind yourself into a power tyrannical, for which you are a traitor to the people. How, traitor? Nay, temperately, your promise. The fires in the lowest hell fold in the people. Call me their traitor, thou injurious tribune. Within thine eyes sate 20,000 deaths, in thy hands clutched as many millions, in thy lying tongue both numbers. I would say thou liest unto thee with a voice as free as I do pray the gods. Mark you this, people? To the rock with him! Peace! We need not put new matter to his charge. What you have seen him do, and heard him speak, beating your officers, cursing yourselves, opposing laws with strokes, and here defying those whose great power must try him, even this, so criminal and in such capital kind, deserves the extremest death. But since he hath served well for Rome, what do you prate of service? I talk of that know it. You? Is this the promise that you made your mother? No, I pray you, I'll know no further. Let them pronounce the steep Tarpeian death, vagabond exile fleeing, pent to linger but with a grain a day. I would not buy their mercy at the price of one fair word, nor check my courage for what they can give, to have it with saying good morrow. For that he has, as much as in him lies, from time to time envied against the people, seeking means to pluck away their power, as now at last given hostile strokes, and that not in the presence of dreaded justice, but on the ministers that doth distribute it. In the name of the people, and in the power of us the tribunes, we, even from this instant, banish him our city, in peril of precipitation, from off the rock Tarpeian, never more to enter our Rome gates. In the people's name, I say it shall be so. It shall be so, it shall be so, let him away, he's banished, and it shall be so. Hear me, my masters and my common friends. He's sentenced, no more hearing. Let me speak. I have been consul, and can show for Rome her enemies' marks upon me. I do love my country's good with a respect more tender, more holy and profound than mine own life. My dear wife's estimate, her womb's increase, and treasure of my loins, than if I would speak that. We know your drift. Speak what? There's no more to be said, but he is banished as enemy to the people and his country. It shall be so. It shall be so. It shall be so. You common cry of curs, whose breath I hate as reek in the rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air, I banish you, and here remain with your uncertainty. Let every feeble rumor shake your hearts, your enemies with nodding of their plumes fan you into despair. Have the power still to banish your defenders, till at length your ignorance, which finds not till it feels, making but reservation of yourselves, still your own foes, deliver you as most abated captives to some nation that won you without blows, despising for you the city. Thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere. The people's enemy is gone, is gone. Our enemy is banished, he is gone. Hoo, hoo! Go see him out at gates, and follow him as he hath followed you, with all despite. Give him deserved vexation. Let a guard attend us through the city. Come, come, let's see him out at gates, come. The gods preserve our noble tribunes, come. End of Act 3 of the tragedy of Coriolanus. Amen. Praise be to God. Jesus Christ, John Rastafari, the Most High. Bless William Shakespeare. I love